In a world of shiny helmets, spandex jumpsuits, and strange monsters, these heroes force feed you a bowl of awesome that is the Tokudon Podcast. Join Carl and Rob as they haphazardly welcome you to the exciting genre of Tokusatsu. Now, open wide.
Friends, we are explorers on the precipice of Tokusatsu and exploding spandex. Sorry, I watched a lot of Hellraiser this week.
Come with us.
Come with us.
Forth.
Demons to some, angels to others. We are Tokudon.
Tokudon heroes to all.
Heroes to all. Oh my goodness.
Hey
What's
guys.
going on, everyone? How we doing? Welcome to a fun another episode of Tokudon. Today we're going to be talking about Bima Satriya Garuda and also Fuuto PI because that ended.
And what else comes to our head?
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll get on some fucking topic. Yeah, have you been into any fun Toku things this past week?
Actually, I've been more so into, because of the, let's say, the dabbling into cultures beyond Japan. I have been on a kick with
into the cultures beyond.
into cultures beyond. Yo, what is up with us lately? Like this SCP shit, your Hellraiser shit has been recreeping into this.
Not even joking. For everyone who doesn't know, this week I watched the old Hellraiser, the 1987 Clive Barker's Hellraiser, and then I also watched the 2022, the one that just came out like last week or the week before. I watched both of them back to back. Very surreal, very different stories, very different takes. I should say, very different takes on the same story ish. And yeah, I went into a Cenobite lore hole and learned about the Dark Priest and fighting wizards and the wishes that are granted by the Dark God that are twisted.
I mean, it's always like, I remember as a kid when the first one came out, it was creepy because I wasn't allowed to watch it because of, the XYZ factors in there.
Yep.
But I do remember very distinctly the shot where he's actually either reincarnated or reemerges the body, where it's like he melts into itself, because they shot it in reverse.
Yeah, he unmelts.
yeah. It was just cool because that's the one thing that stayed with me. But I also remember that fucking voice, that iconic Hellraiser
Doug
voice.
Bradley, Pinhead.
Yeah.
Angels to some, demons to others.
I hear that the new one, they don't try to, do a disservice to it, but they do like their own rendition of it.
Yeah, so the actor that plays Hellraiser in the new one, and we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because we have a habit of spending much time on things.
We are so focused and dedicated to our. Oh, look, kitty.
But if anyone's ever seen Sense8, it is the young blonde lady, transgender actor. I forget her name. Jamie Clayton is the actor's name.
Okay.
And they play Pinhead in this one, and it's hyper modulated, but it's not them trying to do Doug Bradley. You know what I mean?
That's what I was worried about. Like,
yeah.
Is it their
No,
own,
it's like,
them?
Hello, I am Pinhead. It's like their own take on the kind of thing.
That's fine. That's fine. It's good that they did like you. I think you were saying like it's a whole different take on the same concept.
Yeah,
which is better than just doing like a shot for shot remake.
Yeah, so. Similar story, not the same story. It kind of is both rooted in a guy trying to find the literal edges of experience and sensation, and they're weird freaking sex addicts. So that's the basis for both stories.
This kind of helps my what I was trying to think of here earlier. I was trying to, when what I was saying is it brought me out to like check out a whole bunch of like Indonesian Toku produced things, and I was surprised that Bima is a legitimate first. In many
You literally
ways.
just transitioned sex addicts to Bima Satriya Garuda.
Well, because we're talking about remakes here, right? And we just covered the Power Rangers remake. And I was thinking how coming up, if I had the 2017 Power Rangers from my first Rangers, how would I feel about that? You know?
Yeah.
So while watching Bima, I was like, damn, I see the limitations that they were handed. I get it.
Yep.
But then I thought, if this was, when Rob was, 2,000 years old, watching Power Rangers MMPR season 1, and and in my head I'm comparing these two. I accepted what we got as MMPR, and how many people genuinely remember MMPR. You took that and it was the shit, and you weren't getting legitimate shots, you weren't getting legitimate transitions, you weren't getting anything that wasn't chopped and resold to you.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
So Bima, even though it came out in 2013 and we have all these advances and we have everything that we have now, you're still dealing with the limitations of a situation that doesn't have the kind of even production value to fake what MMPR did. But they went a step in another direction and did it themselves.
Yeah.
So taking that prejudice out of my head, that jaded American, wow, this is not great, into this, watching it helped. And again, I didn't finish all 26 episodes.
No.
But I definitely got the idea that this is something that as a kid, and even now, if I had to wait week for week, I could watch this.
Yep.
If it came to the idea that this was the first.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I don't know how you felt. I just didn't want to like shit on it right away.
Yeah, no. So we started this episode planning on doing Garuda for the whole episode, right? We were like, we've always heard about Bima Satria. We always thought it was, cool. If anyone doesn't know, this is the first Indonesian produced tokusatsu with the help of Ishinomori Productions. They actually helped them out on this. This is the first officially produced toku for Indonesia, or one of the first, I should say, that aired on TV and things like that. So it's 26 episodes. It's, a full season. It has a second season that I think is also 26 episodes, Bima X. And it is not a higher quality than I would say, even like the first couple episodes of the first Garo season. Like it's around that. And being so is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just I'm at a point where it's very hard for me to watch that for sustained amounts of time. I
understand, and that's, I agree.
And
I think that's where it stopped us, because I think it does have the the good points are this fucking
suit's
design.
Fucking cool.
This fucking design.
This suit is goddamn cool.
I'm dropping that in the Discord right now. But this design, I can't. All right. So what I came to learn is that in Indonesia, the Garuda is equivalent to the American bald eagle. It's basically like their mascot creature, a bird, and Garuda, Bima, being like the Garuda warrior. Think of him now. I think of him now as like
Captain America.
Yeah. Like I get it now. I get the hubbub and the hoopla and the hype behind it, because dude, this design is so sick. And I get, it's like Agito with like Yuki, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my head. Yeah.
It's definitely a very solid design. That's what kind of like always interested me when I would see stuff pop up. Like, this has a cool design. There's a secondary rider at some point that's like a black version of this one that shows up at some point, maybe the second season. I'm not sure.
I think it's towards that. Yeah, I mean,
I figured who it was watching the first. Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah,
like,
it's gacked.
When I saw him, I'm like, he's almost to the point of Steven Seagal-esque parody, where he's just way over the hill to be in anything, but he's in it, and you can't do shit about it.
Nope.
So just accept it.
Yep.
Like.
And it's wild, because the fights are also really cool too, honestly. Like, the choreography and the fights are very sick. And that was the one thing where, like, even, I would have this show on trying to watch a couple episodes at a time, and it would just turn into me like doing something else, right? Like, it just couldn't keep my attention.
Fair. Because it technically, it's on a lot of technical things. Obviously, I was picking it apart. They linger on shots like 2 seconds too long. Their lighting isn't the greatest. The audio mixing is horrendous on occasions. Like sometimes their music overpowers.
But like also
everything.
at times it's so rushed. I have no idea what the hell is even happening.
The pacing.
The pacing is real bad.
Makes no sense. I mean, you have a lot of jump cuts. That's what I mean. Like,
and I shouldn't use the word
thing,
bad. It's rough. The pacing is rough.
They didn't figure it out yet, which makes me think that season 2 they might have smoothed over some of their technical flaws because I think they got bigger budgets. And
I mean, they had some time. You know, he gets the. I just realized he gets the sword in episode 5, which is kind of cool.
Let's talk about Helios. What I'm saying is this has the vibe of they were getting their feet underneath them, and you could tell that they didn't quite know how to shoot it. They did do a good job at modeling Bima after your traditional toku. So this doesn't break the traditional toku. You have your straight A hero,
he is very much a hero of justice.
Yep, he's just your hero, and he gets thrown into a situation beyond his conception. There's this giant overlord who sends a lackey, who sends even more lackeys.
Which that lackey looks real goddamn cool, to be fair.
Listen, that's my other compliment.
That first dude looked real cool.
I want to see. I don't have a picture. Let me see if I can. But here's a picture of some of the kaiju in this show. The designs of this show is their strong point. I cannot tell you that I didn't even shy away. You know what I mean? Like some of the kaijus in Kamen Rider, you're just like, ugh, But this, you're like, wow, it has 2 faces. Each of them have like 2 faces. It's just fucking cool. They have like a demon face and then their animal face, and then it's inverted sometimes. Like it's fucking dope. They even go a step into the Showa era. With the Overlord guy.
Yeah, the evil organization. Fuuto, I believe it's called.
Fuuto. Yeah, it's the Fuuto Empire. It's cool as shit. It's a cool idea. Concept-wise, I really like a lot of the things that they talked about here. But this guy in particular gave me such of those like General X Showa era villains. His name is Rasputin.
Rasputin, yep.
Rasputin something. I forget his last name, but yeah. So it's basically just a dude with fucking probably like burning contacts in his eyes. Dude doesn't blink for shit like at all.
I don't think he can. The contacts keep his eyes open.
They have like hooks. His eyes are like seriously like fucking. But it's creepy and it works. He has like this aesthetic of like this Palpatine. And I'm telling you, man, the designs in this show kept me entertained and amused enough that everyone was good. I didn't have much to complain about, other than the technical shit that I could obviously pick about anything. This was just an exception. Where they limited, they excelled in this area. Yeah,
they definitely like put the work in with what they had. Like Toku Doctor Doom in the first couple episodes was a really cool design. I'm gonna call him Toku Doctor Doom because I don't know what else to call him. I don't remember his name. Something like that. But he had that cool like claw arm thing going on and doing all kinds of, and then he would just like whip his cape around like a goofball, and it was great. And then they have your putty type characters that are always messing with everyone, and that's usually what Beam ends up fighting for a couple minutes before he fights the boss.
The putties one, they had the general vibe because I think they had the power. I mean, what is it, the core thing that he used to punch? And
something
then they would
like
die.
That,
yeah. They had the Z part, and that's the Iron Mask dude. And this is just more of the Showa era thing. You know what I mean? There's a very Showa vibe because other than a couple of multicolored spandex fighters showing up, this was as Sentai as it got. There were no human villains, I think, and not
from what we saw. I only made it to roughly 4 or 5. I don't know where it was. And again, it's because I also irresponsibly tried to binge 26 episodes in about a week and a half. So watching this week to week, I could probably do it. You know what I mean? Like I could do it in small chunks. It's just I don't also want to wait 26 weeks to finish watching this show.
Right. Yeah. Like again, at the time, I think the excitement of seeing how this came together and knowing that it is going to get better, I can watch it. I can watch it again.
Yeah, I could watch it in my own time, is what I should say. Like, if there's a time frame on it, like watching it in, we planned this 3 weeks ago. If I pace that out a little better, maybe like 2 or 3 episodes at a time, I could probably do it.
Else we had to watch, it's hard to mix that in with.
It's just else. Yeah, this is one of those shows where it was hard for me to watch a lot at one time, and that's not to say it was bad or anything like that. Like, I can't give enough props to it being the first official, Indonesian tokusatsu. Right. And like we said, there's a lot of cool stuff going for it. I also didn't want to spend 2 hours shitting on this show. No,
it could, yeah.
We could easily could. We could do that for a lot of things we watch on the show. To be fair, like, we spent 2 hours talking about Zaborgar. Which was amazing. Which was one of the most fun episodes I've had in a very long time. But, it's very different looking at something like that versus something like this. And you could argue that they have similar quality in some cases.
Because I don't want to undermine the importance that Bima has.
Exactly.
Because it's not about yes, it has a lot to do with our jaded take on the.
We're spoiled with higher end things now.
But because of the elements that they've injected into this, I see that I could check this out. And I would recommend doses, check out an episode every now and then, because it's something that you could see and grow and see how it grows, because they have a lot of cool ideas. And there's the Helios really cool sword, like, you could see, like, if they had a bigger budget, because he has a weapon called the Helios. I think it's just called Helios.
It's just called Helios because it's the name of the bird that, like, it is. Kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's basically a sword that can turn into a twin blade that can also turn into a double-sided sword. That one blue side does like a healer type of magical purging, and then the red side kills the beast that because they infect people or something like that. It's a cool idea because he can save people.
It's very it's very Josuke, Joestar from JoJo. His whole thing was punching people to heal them. So it's very and it's very clever how they use that. And I would hope that eventually he would use things like that because
And they have a bunch of plot elements in there where he's hiding his identity at first, and you can tell his brother's going to be a bigger part of the story, and there's a lot in there that's going to pan out within the first couple episodes. So it's not like a total drag.
And I have to say, this henshin is goddamn cool. The henshin is real sick.
I mean, I for one, I'm all about quick intensity poses. You know what I mean? So this one has like the slow startup, and then the only thing I don't like is that he really does need more sound cues, because they play like the same sound effect like 75 times.
They definitely had like the Hanna-Barbera sound library kind of thing.
It's just like okay.
No. But it's a cool henshin, and it's very much one of those, like, they shot it on a green screen so they can kind of put it wherever, like it goes into its own like pre-rendered segment where he does the and like his hair is always different every time because like his hair is super slicked back in like the scene that they use.
Saber, they did that, right?
Yes, I mean they do it for a lot of Saber. They'll do that in like Super Robot. They'll do that in all kinds of things like Sentai. They do all their little like roll call things now. Any of that kind of stuff. It's a very common thing in not only Toku but Japanese TV in general. That this is taking inspiration from. So I think that shit's kind of hype, honestly. Because like it's like, oh, you're in the like the Voltron transformation was always like its own segment that you could tell it was pre-rendered and everything.
I guess it depends on the vibe, because cutting away can take away from the moment. I always think like you should do the blade henshin. I'll give you that. For me, the blade henshin has always
it's got utility.
It's got service. It fits the moment every time. You know what I mean? Like there's always like a need to transform and in a hurry. Like.
And the best way to do it is throw a force feed off and run through it. So
I'll give you that. But other than that, I will say that one of my favorite henshins, drawn out, has always been Drive. And what made me think of that was his wrist twitch, and then this little post that somebody did. So they took the Bima Satsuriya X suit and they put Drive's helmet on it, and it looks so sexy.
That's cool. Let me bring it up for all the folks at home.
That
That's
looks
really
sexy.
cool. Yeah, that's the Beam X suit. That we didn't get to that one, but it looks really
No.
cool.
Yeah,
He's basically got like a beam attire on. That's sick. I like that a lot.
I dig this. But it's Bima Satria X we didn't get to. I guess that's season 2. But that's
Season
just
2, yeah.
you know, it takes the dope helmet, it takes a dope design and makes it even doper. So like
Yep.
that alone, if you're hooked onto what it aesthetically looks like, it gets even fucking better. So like
It is very cool. Yeah, so that's Beam Satria Garuda. Check it out if you get a chance. I do recommend everyone go check it out and see for themselves. Honestly, that's what I can give you for that. Make your own deduction from it. Like I said, not for me personally to watch in big chunks, but I'll probably give it a shot again. Honestly.
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely in the mentality that I could check out an episode every now and then and be all right. You know, like plus.
And there's a couple movies that came out as well. If anyone.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, there's a couple movies. And I think they have a new show. It's not Garuda. I want to say it's a dragon is the theme now, of some kind.
Let's see.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Oh, dude, he gets a battleizer.
He does get a battleizer.
That's cool looking. Oh, let me drop that.
There's Satria Heroes Kai. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. That is what I'm thinking of. Satria Heroes Kai. He gets like there's a new hero in it, and they're like a dragon theme. I don't know when that's coming out or if it's coming out, but it is a very cool suit as well. I'll pull that picture up for everyone to see.
Oh.
Did you find it?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah.
That is that's
It's fucking cool, actually.
That meme, dude. This is nice.
Yeah, he's got the dragon claws going on when he's doing it too. I like. I'm here for it.
You know what? Wow, I'm getting such Hibiki vibes, and
there is big Hibiki vibes, especially in the helmet there.
Oh wow, but I like it.
Yeah.
2019. So how old is this?
So this is the third installment of this. I don't know. There's only been 3 episodes, if there's any at all. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, Carl.
Yeah.
Carl.
Yep.
Who is this?
Who is who?
I'm gonna put it in there.
Okay.
My computer's not as dope as yours. Hang on, dude. Who is this wizard rider?
Oh,
who is that?
hello. Who is this? Who is this Madan
Weather.
Senki person that they just gave the suit to? Please hold. Let me pull it up for you guys at home. That is dope look. That is fucking weather. That is cool looking. Wowza. Wow. That's cool. Maybe that's Garuda's evolved. No, that looks like a monkey. Is this like a Wukong character? Dang. That's cool looking. He looks really cool. White and red always looks good together.
I'm so digging that one.
I like that one. You want that one?
Who's that? That's
who dat? But Rob will watch that show. That's for sure.
Wow. All right. So.
Oh, it might be Hanuman. That's true. Yeah. Good call. Might be Hanuman. What's up, guys? How we doing?
Whoa.
Yeah, it could be the original Wukong.
I'm with it. You had me at the design. Now you're
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Buttering it up.
But yeah, that's Bima Satria Garuda. We just wanted to kind of speak on that and give it its time because it does deserve some time. Like I said, there's a lot of good stuff there. You can find it by whatever means you need to. But you can find it and check it out. So
yeah, it's
got stuff. What's going on, guys? How we doing? K20 Zeger hanging out in the chat. Zeger's asking what our favorite Ultraman series is. Mine is Ultraman Z. That is absolutely my favorite Ultraman so far, in my limited knowledge of or limited viewing.
I love Ultraman Dyna.
You love Ultraman Dyna. We have proof of it.
Ultraman Dyna.
We have proof of it. You can go to episode. Please hold. You can go to episode. I think it's like 9, and you can see how much love he has for Dyna.
Greatest Ultraman ever. Thanks.
Yeah, it was great. Episode 8 of Tokudon. You can find out. That was before we even had video. Wowza. You can find out. Yeah, that was before we even had video. You guys can find out what Rob really thinks of Ultraman Dyna.
I love it. What are you talking about?
It was great. It was great. It totally wasn't you talking for 10 episodes and telling me what's happening because I fell asleep.
raging constantly.
It's
every
fine. It's fine.
moment.
Sleeping just like the sleeping baby monster that he rocks to sleep in back into his black hole home.
every night, bro. Oh, and mind you, that was during an era where I was really interested in Ultraman. I was like, yo, this will be the one that gets me into Ultraman.
Yeah, because we used to do a roulette for what show we're gonna watch.
Oh, I was so hoping. Golly.
Yep, that was not the right choice.
No. But you know what it was? Fuuto PI.
Fuuto PI is a great choice. Our other awesome subject choice of the week, we're going to be talking about Fuuto PI. And because it has ended, I just let you guys know there's going to be some spoilers. We're going to talk the whole season.
Spoilers.
And it being a sequel to Kamen Rider Double, it probably is going to have some spoilers. It actually does. In the finale, it has some spoilers to the original series as well. So just be aware if that bothers you guys. We are going to be talking about the whole series, and for the most part, and because it harkens back to some things that happened in the end of the original season as well. And
Very much so, especially that ending. Like, what was that? Okay.
Yeah. So we'll.
I think the last we left off, they were in the middle of the next story where they do a lot of. Actually, this is the first time where they do 3 episodes per case.
Yeah, there was a couple that were 3 episodes, especially towards the end. They seem to get a little longer as they get closer to the crux of the whole dealio. But let's kind of recap what we talked about before in case anyone didn't really see. I think we were on, I don't know, it was like the road case, something like that, and I think is where we stopped.
There were a bunch of dead people going around, and
essentially, Shotaro meets this sexy lady that is hanging around as like a homeless person, and they're trying to figure it out. They think she's a witch and getting people killed chopped up into pieces, and eventually he follows her to a dark dimension, or they call it Shadow Futo eventually. And yeah, there's a couple cases. Really, you find out it's from this thing called the Road Dopant. Dopants, if anyone is not familiar, are the main kaijin in Kamen Rider Double. They are people who, I don't want to say sell their soul, but it usually exemplifies some kind of deep thing inside of them. It like enhances a personality trait.
Yeah, it's not quite like the O's greed, where it's in a 7 deadly sin. It's just they want something, and it just takes on aesthetically, like not aesthetically, I don't know, metaphorically. It's like a metaphor that represents what they want.
Yeah, like it kind of hang on, you're getting blocked, dude.
Yeah Nice.
Not even gonna fucking play with that. Anyway, the Dopants don't really, like, they're not really, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like you said, they're not really like personifications of their sin. That's the word I'm looking for, personification. But they are, they enhance what's already there. Like the first one we run into, the Road Dopant, right? Like he was a jobber basically. And I mean, the roads eventually become jobbers, but like dude was like a Yakuza jobber who was just like, y'all ain't good enough. I'm better than all of you. And then this power, like he goes on a power trip because of the Road Dopant. It's that kind of thing. Like it takes it doesn't really, like, for example, another example is the alcohol Dopant. It takes, I mean, that one's a little weird too, but that's probably a bad example. But it takes their jealousy and wanting and kind of accelerates it because, absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's that kind of motif that we have going on with the Dopants. And yeah,
like
I always love the Dopants in general. Oh, did you go to Shadow Realm?
No. Am I still here? Audio?
Yep, there you are. You're back. Okay. Just it was a quick dip the toe in there, and we came back. But
the chorus with me. We're good.
He put down the F in the fuck you phrase.
So, because these 3 episodes are like these 3 episode blocks, the pacing is kind of it really drags a bit because they focus a lot on the I'll put it the Conan aspect of the show.
Yeah.
There's more focus on the detective thing and the people involved. If you remember, like how the show was, it's not like, it's essentially you have the issue, a murder, and then another murder, and then a twist in the case, and then the finale. So that's like the 3-episode structure. Yeah. Like,
and normally it's 2. We should reiterate that. Normally it's very much they were going to the 3-episode structure or the 2-episode structure, where it was like it would start, you would have the turn where they like realize who the villain is, and then the second episode was dealing with the villain. You know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. You had like the case and then solving the case.
So in this block of episodes, you have a case where this idol is being hunted and Shotaro gets hurt, trying to protect her. When they're introduced to the murder dopant, which is, I don't know what it is.
It's a Maganura, and I believe it is the same that is Megaguirus. I believe it's like an old, like an ancient bug kind of thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, Megaguirus from Godzilla is this old like grasshopper thing. I don't even know what it is, but it's an old bug of some kind. There is one of the Pokemon is based on it. I don't remember which one it is, but there's one of the Yanma. There you go. Yanma. That thing.
Okay, so that's what it's supposed to be. I thought it was like a take on like a weird mosquito. Anyway,
no.
We get Fang Joker.
We do get Fang Joker.
We get Fang Joker, and I thought that the reason they had to use Philip's body the first time was because of the injury, but it has to be Philip's body.
Yes. So in the original series, in a similar situation, Shotaro is unable to transform. He is, I think, a metal dopant, like shoots metal onto his driver, so he can't actually use like the other side, like he can't close it or something like that. I forget exactly what it is, but he's incapacitated is my point. And yeah, they kind of hint at like maybe Philip just does it because he's incapacitated, but no, that's not the case at all. This is like Philip's form. This is his thing. And I also kind of forgot in the original series that obviously Fang is their berserk form. It's always been the berserk form, but I forgot that Philip like is aware that it's a berserk form. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't just henshin and then he's berserk. That's not how this form works. He just lets loose. That's really what it is. Like he's a very calculated individual. He's a very monotone, very scientifically driven individual, and which is kind of cool to this form because that's when he just lets that all loose, right? Like he goes full like, I'm just gonna mess you up, man. Like I still got the smarts, but I can mess you up if I really want to.
And the fact that he still has the smarts is the point, because there's a moment in there where he throws a blade and it misses by like a long shot, and the murder's is like, ha, you fucking suck, and he's like, do I really?
Oh, that's cute. You're cute.
And he slices off like 7 of his wings in like the return throw. It's fucking cool.
Because he has a boomerang. He's got a boomerang. Because of course he does.
It's shit like that I love that they put into his character as well.
Yeah.
They really, man, I'm impressed with how much life I'm getting out of the characters in the show. You know what I mean? Like I'm never bored. There's always something that's entertaining. Plus it looks dope. You know what I mean? Like it looks so good. Excuse me. Fang Joker alone was worth the henshin. Yes. Then you get the fight scene. Yes. Then you get my fucking boy. I was just about to say. And then we fast forward a little bit. I think this might be the next episode or so. But either way, in overall, this whole plot revolves around a misdirection of a murder plot. Yeah. This murder dopant keeps going after this gaming idol, and we don't know why at first, but we come to figure out that I think that it's tied into a real event. I think it's their take on a real event that took place in real world.
The game itself is very the marketing was very Monster Hunter. The game itself is very like phone fighting game almost. It's any kind of like Raid, any of these phone games like Raid Shadow Legends, any of this stuff you see like a million advertisements for that lie to your face. Not that this one necessarily lies because she's cosplaying like the character that she plays as, But
which is cool.
It's pretty cool. Like, people do that shit all the time.
She's a lead designer of her own game that cosplays as the game's mascot. That's fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, and like, she struggles with that. That's her character arc. You know, I can get her name here in a second, but that's her character arc. Manako, yeah. She is struggling with being this idol, this pop idol, when really all she wants to do is work on her game. And the cool thing about that, and they also have a banger ass song that they do in their little intro thing. It's very like KDA, very like pop, but it's a solid song. I was digging it. I was down for it. I watched that scene a few times.
There's not so much to hate in this. I mean, even dude, hold on. I'm dropping an eye catcher in the Discord. This eye catcher, I made my fucking wallpaper for like a day or two.
Is it the idol itself? Oh, okay.
No, I fucking love this.
No, like, this is great. It's Akiko and Terumi.
I know. I don't get to see that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's stuff that he still calls her. They even dropped the hints, like, you still call her chief, like, because
that's your wife.
Because Tokime is our introduction for a lot of the new characters. We reminded that, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, remember, he doesn't call her anything other than chief. Like, come on, that's cute as shit.
Yeah,
like, he's weird, but that's the subtle things for like super fans.
What's going on, Ken? How you doing, dude?
What up, bro?
The cool thing about Terumi is, well, first off, you guys should know Terumi is my favorite character in Double. He is hands down my favorite character. He is one of my top 5 favorite secondary riders. I love this dude. I would go to war for Terumi, you know, because my man is just the most wholesome. And he wasn't always that way. That's what makes this even more charming in this season, because not only is he wholesome to his wife Akiko, and he is not only that, but like, he is full bro with Shotaro and Philip. Like, they are full on.
They came
bros.
Full circle with that. Like,
yeah, it was really cool to see.
Is their defining thing? Like, they're more
Rob stripping, just for any of the audio listeners.
You guys like that? You like that? Yeah, it's a little warm in here, guys.
Yeah, you know.
Talking about
Terumi. You see the swoop in his hair? Oh,
but no. So it just makes it sweeter, because, you know, Double was such a big thing for me, and knowing that now that they're actually the buddy duo, it's like, it's everything I wanted in the show.
It's absolutely everything, and it's so cool that they play on that. I'm trying to pull up a picture from the anime for everyone to check out. There's
a line in there, Tokime, where she's making fun of or not making fun of, but she thinks that Akiko is confused that she refers to Terumi as my hubby is a bike. And she's like, don't you mean he rides a bike? And then I think it's later on in a couple episodes where she sees for herself that he transforms into the bike, and she's like, holy shit, she meant it. She didn't really
no, that's real. Oh, okay.
Holy shit, that's what she meant. Like, it's fucking cool.
For anyone who doesn't know, my man Terumi is Kamen Rider Axel. He also, the swoop in his hair always gets me. Yeah. That's how you win my heart. That's how I get man crushes.
The Superman swoop.
The Superman swoop. This is his rider form for anyone who's interested. It is a big red rider. And you may notice these handlebar looking things on his back. And that's because he turns into an actual motorcycle.
He does.
And here's the anime version for anyone who may not. There it is. Beautiful. This suit is fucking gorgeous. And it still stays fucking gorgeous. What are we now? Like 20 years later?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's so good. I love everything about Axel. He is so sick. And one of the defining moments, which they kind of do in here, they don't really play on it as much because that was more of like an intro thing, is he drags his sword. He uses his Kamen Rider sword outside of his suit, and you kind of get the idea of how much like a power boost these suits give you, because he has to literally drag it because it's so heavy. And
he doesn't use it like a sword. He uses it like a big fucking boop stick.
He uses it like Guts uses his goddamn Dragon Slayer. That's how he uses this thing. That's how heavy it is. My man just like hard swings, and he like stumbles forward, but then he henshins, and it's like it's a rapier. Like, this thing is, he doesn't use it like a rapier, but it's light. He's able to swing it around with ease. It's literally a toy at that point.
Tell me about that henshin though.
Yo.
Oh my god.
Axel.
Like, there's not a lot that driver does negatively. One, because it's fucking Kenpachi, so like, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
That and the Axel, the rev. Oh,
it's so good. So he has on his, I'll bring up a picture in a second, but on his driver, the belt that he uses to transform, there's actual handles, and he revs the motorcycle handle, and it is the coolest shit ever. It's so sick. when he henshin. Oh, here's a good picture of his bike form.
I don't know how many people did it like him, like how many people stretched out the henshin the way he did. But I remember him being one of the more memorable ones. He's and shit, and then oh man, like
it is. Axel is one of my absolute favorites, and they did him so good, good in this series. And I was excited to see that, like, he was around for a good chunk of it once he was introduced. I think he was introduced in like 5 or 6, and he's in pretty much every episode since after that.
In some aspect, he does something, and it's not like
and it's and he knows he's the secondary sometimes, because at some points he's like, "Yo, I got these jobbers." He knows his place.
He signs up and he goes for it, but he takes him out.
He fucking takes him out, man.
It's never like you got to worry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he says, "I got it." He's got it.
He's got it.
There's nothing to worry about.
And very quickly, because I believe in the same fight even, we are introduced to his secondary form, which is technically his final form, if you don't count the one from the movie. So we're introduced to trial form, which is his speed form. And he has a really cool moment at some point. A little later, you find out that there's like the big four, right? The 4 gods.
Yeah, we get the generals. Yeah.
We get the four god generals, right? Like we get Bison's fucking 4 gods. And he's fighting one of them called Scream, who does a literal shout and a wave of energy, or a wave of energy, a wave of force, air pressure from her scream. She can release it from any part of her body, not just her mouth, but the mouth is like this cannon. It's sound pressure. And he is literally, I swear to God, the line is, "I'll just have to move faster than sound." Yeah, and my man fucking strikes a pose and goes for it.
It's like
so fucking sick.
And he's like, "Damn, this thing is keeping up. Fuck."
Yeah.
And it's like, and he's stressing because he's like, "Okay, what else do I got? All right, God, time to go even harder."
We didn't get his other form, Booster, which is good because that was not great when it debuted in the movie. But I feel like the anime could probably do it a lot better.
Well, if they're gonna go for it, I could see them doing something like a fusion thing with him, because they're not afraid to do some switch ups that they haven't done with Double. So we'll see. The only thing I'm reading, okay, because I'm trying to remember the next episode, because the next episode begins like they end this arc with like the big wrap up where the misdirection of so at first we think her manager's a dick, but he's not. He's actually they imply
very heavily that it's the manager, and they even look similar. Like at one point his hand is bleeding and you're like, why is his hand bleeding? And you just saw a shot of like the guy who is like, we see Shadow Dio kind of thing going on, and he's like, "Oh, this girl, blah blah blah," and it looks like it could be him in a hoodie kind of thing. And then his hand's bleeding, so they do like a match shot to that. So it makes you think, literally, like you said, misdirection, to think it's this producer, but it's not. It's some angry gamer nerd.
Some random gamer nerd that I guess she had beaten. Well, he was, all right, so the Dopant is the angry gamer that she had beaten in a tournament. Well, first of all, you don't fuck with the designer of the game. Period. You don't fuck with the mascot of the game. That's kind of like ceremonial. You let them win. And then you should have known you fucked up when she had this, I don't know if you noticed it, but she had this reverse grip on her Joy, and it was like she was about to go super gamer mode on his chest.
Oh, like, she did the flip.
She had the flip.
She was holding the wine glass on the joystick.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I don't know much about joystick, but I know that if you hold it goofy, you are a dangerous
Like if you do the Seth Killian, this lady's gonna murder you.
I don't know, like for me, because I always approach a joystick like a fucking console deck. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to mess buttons up. I'm just gonna touch exactly what I need to precisely and get out of the way.
Peck, like a keyboard peck.
Yeah, but then she was like, all right, we're just gonna fucking.
Yep.
And I'm like, holy shit.
Was it the Halo sword dance or whatever her technique is? She's like, yep, we're just gonna slide that in, hold the wine glass, and here we go. Click, 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 click.
Straight up evil. She was parrying. She was just like,
right? Evo moment 37 his ass.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, so obviously he's butthurt about that and stayed butthurt and became the murder Dopant to try to kill her in revenge. Teamed up with, I guess, somebody who thought that she didn't appreciate her position, which speaks volumes about a lot of people, because that is something that a lot of people encounter.
Yeah.
misunderstanding because of miscommunication is, I guess, the theme that they were going with. Because if the bitch had taken 2 seconds and be like, "How you doing?" none of this would have happened. Like,
it was the head of her like makeup team or something. I believe it was a very like, oh, she's the one who's been telling him where her location is kind of thing. And I don't know, it was whatever. But it was an excuse to bring out Fang Joker. That's all it was.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Fang Joker, for anyone at home, I will pull it up in just a second. Like I said, is Philip's form. Shotaro is normally the one in the body, but Philip takes over for this one. And it's just cool to see him be kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
So
and tactically genius too.
Yeah.
I think they said that Fang Joker is the most dexterous, or
yes, it is the what is the word that they used?
He's a dex build.
Yeah, he's definitely a dex build. So this is Fang Joker for everyone at home. Very cool, very edgy, quite literally. And it looks great in Fuuto PI. It looked like everything looks great in that show. But ooh, here's Fang Metal. That's how I know we're getting another season. Spoilers. But yeah, I think it was dexterous. I think that was the word that he said, because he starts like dashing around a little bit. He gets a little faster. He gets a little stronger. But like you said, so when he flicks the nose on his Velociraptor memory, it's the Fang memory here. He can flick it up to 3 times, and the blade will teleport around either to his wrist, his shoulder, or his ankle. And when it goes onto his shoulder, he throws it like a boomerang, which the murder dopant, we're just gonna call it the fucking murder dopant, didn't realize that it was a boomerang, like Rob said, and you find out that it had a bunch of little wings on top of its main wings, and he starts cutting them off like crazy. And then they do one of the most ridiculous kicks in Kamen Rider history, but one of the ones that I can't help smiling at every single time it happens. Because my man literally does like a regular rider kick. If anyone's seen a rider kick, they do like a flying side kick kind of thing. But instead, Philip assumes the position as you would a rider kick, and then just starts barreling in a circle. Yeah.
So dope.
He just starts spinning like a goddamn battle top. It just takes people out.
So I love it, dude. Like it's something about it translating so well to anime is so reassuring. I was so worried that it would look like, I don't know, like not done well.
Yeah.
And that's all I could really say if they fucked it up. But hold on, I think I found a GIF, and I'm gonna try to drop it in the feed.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for GIFs, because showing this in motion is the best way. So
there you go. Dropping that in the Discord right there. If it loads, cool. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I could probably click on it. There it is for everyone at home. Yeah, you see, he just spins like a goddamn battle top, and then yeah, no, this is one of the coolest and stupidest kicks. I realize how stupid this is, everyone, but it looks goddamn cool.
Fang Striza.
Fang Striza. I don't remember. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I saw the actual live action version. Did it have the Fang energy head bite down when he does it?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember, to be fair. But we also know, like I clicked on the picture if you were watching the video, that eventually we have seen Fang Trigger and Fang Metal as well. So we know he's going to get some other forms. We do not see them this season. So when season 2, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you get your happy wrap up, but a good thing about this show is that they defeat the boss whatever early enough in the episode that they can start the next arc within the same episode. So this, even though we kind of jump to randomly they're looking for mushrooms in the middle of a blizzard, I know it's episodic like that, but it ties into this realization. And Philip, it's very subtle, but it's not subtle at all. He goes through this little mini arc where he tries to understand why he doesn't quite get along with Tokime. Tokime has like this, she's Shotaro's assistant, and that's Philip's shoes, you know what I mean? So it's kind of implied that that's where the jealousy stems from, but Akiko makes this weird fucking assertion that throws Philip into this loop where I guess he didn't know about gay people.
Yep.
So he explores that men can fall in love with each other.
Yeah, and he mentions that, good news, Shotaro.
He's like, it's the most beautiful thing. I didn't know it was possible. And I'm like, that's adorable, Philip, but what are you doing? Like,
Shotaro has a, yep, that's a thing.
I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that is a thing. Yep, that's a thing. Okay, but
it's funny to me. What got me the most like giggle out of it was that if Philip, instead of using the guy library, just went on the internet for 2 seconds, he would have learned about it because everyone ships these two together. So just go to the Toku Twitter. That's all you got to do. You'll see that shit all day.
And Akiko was like, yeah, you love him because you love him, you know, like, you have that.
Okay.
And then Shotaro was like, yo, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Shotaro was like, no.
It was handled well enough that I didn't think it was too weird. But I want more of stuff like that because Philip being more of an interested character is the reason why they end up on a fucking blizzard mountain trying to find mushrooms.
He's exploring the world. That's all it is. So, it's very Lilu from The Fifth Element, trying to learn about things. That's very much what it is. So
true. So they end up being saved by some rando who brings them into this mansion in the middle of nowhere, which is all red, good signs, all.
And you know what? Awesome. What gives you great, even better signs than a random person in a really fancy mansion in the middle of nowhere? When they're all wearing fucking masquerade masks.
No, before that, bro. Before that, because she brings them inside. They're like, thanks for saving us.
Mm-hmm.
But when I walk out the doors, when she's like, don't tell anybody you've seen my face.
Yes, I forgot about the deadpan fucking turn that she does. You just
It's like, wait,
I'm sorry, what?
No, that's not okay. This how they handled the darker murder mystery aspect of these episodes was, I don't know, because this almost became fan service PI very quickly with this string of episodes, because this is all about a tradition that is very fucking
And to be fair, I hadn't watched it a few weeks, so I'm watching like 4 or 5 episodes of this at a time, which that's not bad. This isn't like the Bima situation. I was down for it. It's just this chunk of episodes lost me at first.
Because it
felt more episodic than any episode up to this point, because everything kind of had like the Tokame tie-in, or it had something to have to do with the Shadow Fuuto. This just kind of was like out of nowhere. It felt almost like filler at first, but it actually is very important to explaining.
Which is
what is
weird.
Up, Josh, with the 15 months? Appreciate you, dude.
Josh,
the big subscribe.
Which is weird, because there has been elements of a character that we didn't touch on too much. Bando, Yujiki Bando.
Yeah.
He is the Aurora Dopant who is like pulling the strings and puppeteering everything.
Yeah.
And he has, I don't know his goal, but he is the one advocating to avoid fighting with the Kamen Riders.
Yeah. He is strictly observing them. He wants to see what all of their powers can do. He's heard about Fang and Extreme, so he's trying to. At one point, he gives the murder Dopant like drugs to beef him up a little bit, so that they'll use more power against him.
Yeah.
They're just trying to push Double to see what he's capable of, because he's building the Shadow Fuuto.
They become high dopes, which is like a super evolved.
Yep.
Yeah, a dopant with fucking Reiatsu, because they release such spiritual pressure that it crushes.
Yes.
There's literally a moment where the Scream one is like damaging them with the Scream because of the spiritual pressure.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy.
And they can also seem to have abilities outside of their monster forms. They just have abilities in their human forms, which is kind of the point of this string of episodes. And that's where I said it kind of lost me in the beginning. But by the end, you learn about high dopes, because you find out we have had one for long before Museum and all of this. Like, this lady's had this power for, she said, like 50 years or something like that.
They do, right. So again, one of the important things in this string of episodes is they do this very subtle but very important fucking lore dive into Fuuto. There's a village that's not far from Fuuto that they mined resources because they found the museum stuff there, the Gaia shit there. And this was before they started the whole thing, before everything. And that's kind of the whole thing. It's like Philip remembers being there as a kid, and the one character remembers him specifically because of the power that they had. You know what I mean? Like,
it was like a families meeting kind of thing. I believe Philip's father like had relations with them and would talk to the
all business.
matriarch of the family kind of thing.
Yeah. But so the whole thing is, in a nutshell, there's like this tradition where this guy, the head of a family, is being presented these women who want to be his wife because they're gold diggers, and that's pretty much the fucking gist of it.
Yep. They want to marry rich, so they don't got to worry about shit.
Yeah. The grandmother is like, I'm gonna choose for you. You're just gonna have to pick from the four.
And my man's chilling there in a mask too, because they were like, it's all about personality.
Yeah, because that's the important thing.
I mean, it is, but that's what they're holding to high values.
You're saying it's important, not the whole fact that these four women have absolutely no choice. But yeah, whatever. Okay. So anyway, the point is that it's meant to be gross in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. So the grandmother ends up.
I had a delivery. Sorry.
No, you're good. The first person to get killed is kind of like, it throws everything off whack because it's such a wackadoo thing that happens. You're like, really? Like this is obviously, it's gonna happen, but because of the vibe going on in that whole thing, the random murder, and she's fucking impaled through a tree. Like, it's like, not, this is not, like,
so Kamen Rider doubled the show. The first, I guess we'll call it the season, the first chunk, right? The original show was implied violence. Sometimes they would never show murder. Right? They would talk about like, oh, these people aren't here anymore. Ken's asking who's impaled. I'll get back to that in a second. They would never show murder, right? Like, it's a kid's show at the end of the day. They're going to talk about it, but they're never going to show it. They may show like, someone screaming in an alley and then it cuts kind of thing. Yeah. Like that sort of deal. I think at one point they like especially that puppet thing, like cuts a couple people and there might be a little bit of blood.
Oh my God, fuck that puppet.
You forgot about the puppet, didn't you?
Oh, wow.
How's that for unlocking a fucking memory? I got to find this puppet.
Bro. Thanks, bro. I forgot it.
My point is, they would never show the violence, right? And in this, they're not afraid to actually show it, and which is one of the things that this is a much more mature rated show. I'm going to show the puppet for everyone, because you all deserve to be a part of this fucking nightmare.
I can't.
So here's the Bride of Chucky using the fucking trigger blaster.
Oh my God,
and it's awful, and I hate it, and it will forever be burned into your memory from now on. I'm just going to leave this on the screen while I talk. So, they set the standard of this being a more like NC-17, or not NC-17, TVMA, that kind of thing, like 17 plus kind of show, when they had the more, let's say, sexual nature of Tokudon, the anime thirst, that kind of thing. They even do it with the pop idol. I'm just gonna leave this on screen. Y'all can fucking deal with it.
Shit. And I like the spooky shit, and that shit creeped me out.
It's terrifying. But
so yeah,
in this, they straight up show a body with a branch in its chest. One of the one of the potential brides to be is impaled on a tree, and you see the branch coming out of her, and there is blood dripping onto the ground.
It's dope.
It got dark real quick, and that's when I went from, wow, this episode's kind of losing me, to sitting forward and being like, okay, I'm in.
Because then you're introduced to a lot of weird shit, because they do a lot of the investigation.
Fucking weird shit.
They're cut off from the internet because they're in the middle of a storm. But Philip is like, I don't know about that. So what does Philip do? Philip does the fucking Philip thing, and Philip builds a fucking robot to go get him more signal. He's like, go. I need this. Make it happen. So we don't know that that's going on, because that's one of the revelations, like, after the fact.
Yeah.
Because he's able to get in contact with Terumi and all that shit. Anyway, 2 more people died before they were able to get any help.
Yes.
So,
one is drowned naked in a hot bath, and then I don't remember what happened to the other one.
The other one gets fucking stabbed, right? Like
something like that.
Right? Hold on.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Either way, they are all brutally and horribly murdered. One literally has like the death scream face on when she's dying in the, like, they find the body in the bath and she has like the death scream face. But when they find each of these bodies, they are suddenly attacked by the alcohol dopant, which is this crazy looking, I don't even know how to describe it.
It's like if
it looks like a carafe, honestly.
Yeah, like if Baymax and Krang fused together, that's what you would get. Yeah. It's this weird, ugly looking and it's drunk. So so it's implied to be leaking alcohol constantly. Every time they punch it, it can't feel pain. So that's like double scary. So they have to like,
because the alcohol numbs the pain.
Yeah. So they have to figure out how to stop this thing because they can't hurt it.
Yep.
So every time it pops up, it's in a situation where it kills the person, then disappears because something is going on where either these people are being strategically offed or somebody is a killer. And they go and they separate each of them. They get all their identities, and we figure out, XYZ factors about all of them. And it ends up, we understand that it's implied that it's the one candidate who's like the quietest and the one
who was the one who said, hey, don't tell anyone you saw my face.
But she's the one that knows what's going on because she was the first one to be presented the hot potato of the alcohol dopant spirit. We end up finding out it through shenanigans.
Absolute shenanigans.
That it's literally hot potato through each of these characters that end up accidentally offing themselves because they can't handle the power.
Yes.
And what happens
or the alcohol. They fucking lightweights. And straight up, the one who dies in the bathhouse is because of alcohol poisoning. Because this dopant's body is constantly losing alcohol into their bloodstream. She died of alcohol poisoning. Wild. Crazy, bro. Yeah. So Shotaro figures this shit out, and Philip obviously gets him a leg up, and then they're able to call Terumi, who brings the fucking cavalry with him, the Rider Galley. Straight up cavalry.
The Rider Galley, I miss that thing so much.
It's so for anyone who doesn't know, it is a giant, I can only describe it as a Batman truck, like from Batman Begins, with a fucking wind turbine on the back of it.
Yeah, it's like from the Bayou. It's like if the Bayou fucking truck things had wheels on it. You know what I mean?
The fan boats.
I love it so much. It's like an
so angry.
Yes. So they're barreling through the fucking blizzard trying to catch up to them. As they're taking on, what they realize is Bando, who pretends to be another guest in the house, is figuring out that, fuck, this wasn't what I wanted, but hey, let's make the opportunity. And he superpowers the dopant and unleashes it on them to try to take them out. And they actually experience that their base isn't enough, so they have to go immediately into ultimate. They're realizing that they're not strong enough anymore to take them on. They have to go above and beyond for these high dopes.
And this is part of what I was talking about for Bando pushing them, right? To see where their power level is, to see if they could stand up to him or not. Because the Bando and the four gods use belts, which we'll get into when we talk about that, because that's kind of like where it leads into this. They use their own versions of the Kamen Rider drivers, essentially, instead of your typical stamp it onto your body. It's like a USB that plugs into a cool tattoo. We'll talk about that in a minute too, because I'm curious what everyone's take is on that. So this is where you find out that, like, no, these beefed up dopants, like, the base forms aren't going to cut it as much anymore. Like, they can't just, Cyclone Joker their way at all this stuff. Like, I think they even try to memory break one of them, and it really doesn't work very well.
No. So basically, this bulk of episodes is to find out that spoilers. The grandmother's the dick. So she's like doing this whole thing just because she's trying to find the best woman who's as cutthroat as she is, because she's been like murdering people all her life to come up ahead. So I'm like, respect.
She's Grandma. Literally swilling whiskey and is like, y'all some fucking lightweights, aren't you?
She's like, I was looking for the baddest bitch here who could handle this shit, and all of y'all
and it's Philip
shit. And that's the bottom line, goddammit. So fuck all y'all. I'm gonna burn down in my own house. I don't need y'all. Take care of my grandbaby. I love y'all. They're fucking badass.
Deuces.
She's a badass.
I'm out.
Like, fucking, I'm like, yo, respect. Anyway, so all that boils down to two things. Bando was only trying to see the limits of XTREME and trying to figure out what he could do. And then he realized that he really doesn't want to fuck with them because it's one, it's an annoyance, and two, it's not serving his plan, which they don't really get into too much. They just imply that it requires them to move in silence and make silent assassinations. So...
And at this point, we also see the Scream dopant I was talking about. This is where we get the trial henshin with Terumi.
Oh my god.
So we're introduced to the first of the four gods, and then eventually we lead into the other ones. And essentially, this is, again, what we were talking about, the high dopants. We find out that there's people that just evolved from their base USB and have elevated to it. She can like float things with her mind and some shit like that. That was kind of her power outside of that. And like Rob said, she uses that to tear down the fucking mansion around her. And it causes her son to be like, I've been a rich boy all my life. I'm going to find out what it means to be a working man.
I'm like, you're an idiot, but okay.
Yeah, I know I would have rode that train, but okay. Different upbringings. I get it, I guess. And essentially, this kind of just leads to the final trail into the last little arc here, where they're trying to get into Shadow Fuuto.
Yeah, they're after Tokime.
Yeah,
and they use a guy's
by
invention.
they, Rob means Bondo and the four generals.
Oh yeah,
so we can clarify. There's a lot of people we've been talking about here.
Yes, the four generals, which there's a Brachios.
There's a Brachiosaurus
who is the most insane thing I didn't anticipate. Cool. Okay, let me take you guys back real quick. So Beast Dopant, if you guys don't remember, was the catalyst for Extreme. Okay, in order to beat Beast, they had to unlock Extreme form and body him, and they did. I'm not going to deny that.
Yep.
But it took Extreme. Brachio chomps this fucker in half in 2 bites.
Yep. He literally takes him and chomps him and like he's fucking nothing. And Brachio is also towering over most of the skyscrapers in Fuuto, by the way.
It is a Brachiosaurus Dopant, guys.
Yeah.
It
is the size of a Brachiosaurus.
It is insanity. And I loved how they were like, oh yeah, remember that problem, that double head? Chomp.
Chomp your fucking problem. Let's do that. How about that?
Like, and then you find out that it's a kid. It's a child.
Yes. So no, pause. Because we see this giant Dopant, right? We get some images like from the intro. We get some images of all the general Dopants. We see Scream, which is another one of these four generals. It's this kind of gangly, like ring girl looking thing that can Banshee Scream.
Yeah. It's creepy looking. It's creepy. It's got
very
two faces.
creepy.
Yeah.
We see Brachiosaurus. We got a glimpse of Reactor. We really didn't see it until he actually shows up in the episodes. And Reactor. Then we also get, what was the last one? Give it 2 seconds here. Road. I'm sorry, Road was the last one.
Rhodes becomes the fucking goons.
Yeah, Road, which we saw earlier in the show, becomes your fucking jobber. And they kind of had an issue with him. It was more so chasing him into Shadow Fuuto, but you find out there's like dozens of them, and they're just the fucking henchmen.
Literally.
But Brachiosaurus, because we meet the four generals, there's one that's this huge buff dude. He's just 9 feet tall. He wears suspenders and slaps them a lot. He's got shades on. You're like, that dude's Brachiosaurus. Come on now. Yeah. Giant dude turns into the giant thing, of course. And you think that for the next 3 or 4 episodes until they're in Shadow Fuuto and Brachiosaurus is stomping around while Double is fighting fucking big man over here, who you find out is Reactor, who's literally a walking nuclear reactor, by the way.
Dude, Reactor. Listen, Reactor gave me such Tegoro vibes that I was like,
big Tegoro vibes. It was sick.
Holy shit. Oh my god, dude.
My man.
All right, so how we mentioned before, they have powers. Outside in the normal human forms. The fucking things that this guy's got on, the fucking Armstrong straps.
Yep.
He is holding back his internal fucking fire. Yep. This guy is burning up constantly. Yep. And the only way he can alleviate that is 1, by wearing heat resistant clothes, and 2, by utilizing this technology that he stole or kind of bought. I don't know. He took this technology from a guy and repurposed it so that he could cool down his internal thing. But the guy ends up getting stuck in Shadow Fuuto. The daughter is the reason why they're there. Plus, they ended up looking for Tokime. So let's round robin it all to where we're at right now. Reactor is face to face with Double. What the fuck, man? This guy.
This man in his rubber shirt and his suspenders goes, and then he plugs his USB in, and he turns into one of the coolest designs in the show, in my opinion, which is Reactor. It's on the screen now for everyone watching at home. He just has this big fuck you arm and this other cannon thing on his other arm, and he's got an actual reactor in his chest. His head is this like nuclear orange. It's
so cool.
So cool. Yeah. Very cool. And like there's constantly steam coming off him, and like the machinery on his shoulders, like choke. It's almost like a steam engine. Like it's
so
very cool.
My man. my man has the absolute honor of going against both of our riders.
Both of them.
Fucking bodies them.
Bro. My man Terumi gets trial just so they can fucking run and survive.
Just to run away, bro.
And Double is in his final form. I can't stress that enough. He is in Extreme, which, if anyone doesn't know, Extreme gives them the ability to analyze any of these USB memories basically instantly. They have the entire Gaia library, which is their internet database, that just at their disposal. That's their whole thing. They can just dissect and destroy any of these memories almost instantly. That's what makes it so strong against Gaia memories. Kind of useless against everything else, but that's a whole other problem. And so you have the smartest thing that can be able to instantly, counteract.
Solve a problem. Yeah.
So it can instantly solve the problem. They can't solve the problem fast enough because this dude is too strong. So Trial's literally carrying them in a circle to try and figure out what the fuck is going on.
he lands, I think, a couple blows on them, but the 2 strikes dents their fucking armors. He it's not even a full blow that he lands completely. It is
he grazes them and it melts the Kamen Rider armor.
Melts the armor, guys. This fucking blows my mind. I'm like, what?
We see people get messed up. We see people get dehensioned when they get beat up too much. This is one of the few times, other than broken helmets, that I've seen the armor get fucked up. And it was cool.
And it played more into it because they had to figure out how to beat him because they couldn't overpower him. So tie it back to the very reason that they're there is to try to save the grandpa and Tokime, and the machine that he built his cooldown device around is his weakness, and they fucking destroy that shit.
Yeah, you find out he has this little like a hunker shell that he uses to siphon off some of the excess energy so he can help stay in his normal form, because like Rob was saying, because he's a high dopant, his ability outside of this is to just internally fucking cook all the time. He can't control it. It's kind of a short end of the straw in this one, but he has the eye lasers. He does have eye. Did we mention that? I don't know if we did. He can fire eye lasers, by the way.
Yeah, he can combust. He's the fucking combust man. So he. The reason they do a dope thing where they imply that he has higher ambitions. He wants to be a big shot. He wants to be just like Yujiki. But in order for him to do that, he has to hide his weaknesses. Yeah. And this is the reason that they're able to get to him, because he wouldn't put his weakness in plain sight of Yujiki. Yeah. So
Bondo, if anyone isn't recognizing that name.
Yeah, Bondo. So basically, their whole thing was brilliant in terms of the deductive thing.
Imagine if Sagat was like, "Hey Bison, I want to show my loyalty to you. I'm not going to show you my scar where I lost." That's the energy we're going with, right? I don't want to show you where this punk ass kid fucking Metsu Shoryuken my chest, because I don't want to shame you. This is my shame. Don't look at my shame. Okay, Bison.
Here's the thing.
I love you.
He fights, and then they overpower him because he just can't hold his power back anymore. But he goes from Sagat energy to straight up Akuma energy.
Oh yeah.
This dude, when he realized he's lost and it's over for him, he's like, well, fuck you too.
But you know what the best part is? So in this fight, right? So we've gotten to the point where they have to find their way into Shadow Futo. They get knocked out of it because of Reactor, and then they find Reactor again to get back into Shadow Futo. This is how the season ends. It's this last fight with the Reactor Dopant. They destroy him using the extreme memory and also a fucking artillery cannon that Terumi brought, by the way. He just has a cannon. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. It plugs into his butt. It's fine.
He jumps into the rider galley, and it's perfect. It's perfect. Oh my god, I love it.
He can attach a cannon into his asshole when he's in bike form, and it fires things. It's great.
The only acceptable thing into an asshole.
It's absolutely hilarious, because literally his legs just kind of like fly up, and then it just plugs into his butt. It's great.
Yeah, it looks silly, but it's fucking dope.
Yeah. So he brings this fucking artillery cannon. I forget what it's called. It's like the Cannon R or something like that. And so they're able to use that with the extreme memory, and they finally overpower Reactor. Extreme is able to do its final form or final attack kick. It's the Wally tank, exactly. And because it literally hucks the fucking heat dome that they're using to cool down. And Double's able to use its final kick, take him out. Of course, it's the rider kick that is going to work the best. They had this really cool idea to use like all of Philip's abilities to fire like a laser beam at him.
Yes.
That was going to be hotter than anything he could produce. And they were like, nope, we fucked that up.
They even do the sleight of hand where he's like, throw your weapon down. And he's like, okay, sure. He throws the beaker, but he kept the prison memory tucked in his hand. And he's like, bitch, and fucking Maximum drives it. Like,
so they're able to finally kick him. And then as you think, oh, he's gone. They did the memory break. No more Dopant. That's cool. His two jobbers that Teruri was handling, who were like, no, fuck this. We're out of here. Try to open the gate to Shadow Futo. And my man, Nikaido, goddamn Toguro, shows up 120% behind them, grabs them both by the neck.
A flame. This guy is molting,
literally burning. Grabs them both by the neck and just roasts the hell out of them. He just cooks these two fools.
You were gonna give them the pass to our place, you fucking idiots, and he cooks them.
He cooks the hell out of them right before combusting himself. He explodes himself to break the gateway or the little bridge area that they're standing on that would get them into the gate to Shadow Futo. And magically, of course, our heroes survive by hiding behind the artillery fucking tank.
It came in handy again.
It came in fucking handy. I'm glad Teruri brought it. Teruri's my dude.
But I was worried because I'm like, all right, they're implying that he's a reactor, so that means he's gonna go nuclear, right? Like,
that's what I thought, and I was like, oh, there's bigger problems here.
There's a much larger issue afoot.
There's the epilogue in 30 years where they all have cancer, unfortunately. Oh no!
Terui's just got a foot growing out of his chest.
It's just running constantly.
He's redressing it with a new sock. That's all.
Oh no! It's how they get real superpowers. Oh no!
Yeah, there you go. So it's all an excuse so that they can't get to Tokime yet. So it's just further into the next season. But overall, the one thing that we didn't touch on is Bando himself is implied to be immensely powerful.
Yes.
By two things that he does distinctly. The Meruem murder Dopant, when he fails, he's confronted in his hospital bed by Bando, who transforms using the belt into the Aurora Dopant. And the closest thing you could think of for the Aurora Dopant is like this ethereal angel with no wings.
Yeah.
It's like, anyway, so he fucking turns into bone dust or dust bones or something like that.
Yeah, he just evaporates him. He Thanos snaps him without the actual like whisking away of the dust.
Yeah. So Terui comes back and finds this pile of dust where this guy is. And so that's just one shot of how powerful he is. And then another is this: he's able to amplify or like boost a normal Dopant into a high Dopant.
Yep.
So it's he hasn't done anything. You know what I mean? Like he himself has done nothing.
If he does things, it's all been off screen kind of thing. Right. He hasn't really done anything on screen for us to see other than transform and kind of melt this dude. And he just kind of like, they do the Passover. He's just dust now kind of thing. They do the quick cut.
Yeah. So the second season, whatever's going to come of this, you're getting the idea that they're not ready. They need a lot more to do. And if this Bando guy is going to be the problem that I think he is, this driver interests me and worries me, because if they're introducing another driver into the show, is it specifically a Dopant driver, or are we gonna get a rider out of it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think their driver in particular is going to be more of the Nazca style driver, like the family had. So the family in the original show had a driver that essentially they would just use to turn to their Dopant forms. It would make them stronger than your average Dopant, more cunning than the average bear sort of thing, and it would just beef them up. I think it's the same kind of tech, because they talk about ties to Foundation X, which is you find out that Yukaji Bando helped create the company that became Foundation X. And Foundation X is a very important company in the original show because they shoehorned it in the last couple episodes. But it also ties into the movie as well, because it's the whole reason things happen in the end of the show. They essentially are arms dealers looking for the best tech, and they find out Gaia memories and all this kind of stuff, and they want a piece of it, so they create their own, and they duplicates and nonsense. Go watch the movie. It's on YouTube right now. Toei put it up on the YouTube channel.
it's kind of a thing because they could do much with Foundation X. They could tie in Forze, they could tie in O's, they could tie in a bunch with just Foundation X.
They won't, but they could.
They won't. But it'd be cool to see Nadeshiko team up with fucking Tokime.
It would be cool if just like Gintaro like walked by, they gave a crisp high five, or like AG, you know, that'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. I think probably more likely AG because that was the next show. But yeah, I think that'd be a cool little like, or even if he just shows up to do something, he doesn't have to henshin really. He can just show up to do something and kind of move along, you know. I wouldn't hate that little cameo.
It's an idea that they probably never do, but it was cool to see Foundation X because the legacy thing that they're implying there could be dope. Yep. Will it? I don't know, but we'll see. Second season, I'm
TBA. They haven't really announced anything, I don't believe. But the manga continues, and like I said, we have forms that we've seen in the manga that we have not seen animated yet, like other Fang forms. We got Metal and Trigger. And they have not been animated yet, so I am hoping we do. And do you think we're going to get a new form out of the Bondo fight?
I don't want one. Like, if anything, I want to re-see the wing Fuuto form.
Oh, okay, the Fuuto Extreme.
Yeah, that I'll do something like that because another form would take away from what Extreme is supposed to be. Yeah, you know what I mean. Extreme should evolve to fit the situation. You shouldn't need a greater power. Okay. That's just my feeling.
What if
Terui needs a power?
Terui is going to use Booster eventually, which again, I think Booster, I've talked about it before on the show. Booster is kind of this weird form because when it was debuted in the movie, it didn't look great. It kind of had this weird wire foo thing going on that just wasn't great. But in an anime, you don't have those restrictions. I think they'll do. Whenever it shows up, I'll be like, that form's fucking sick. So
maybe. Yeah.
That's gonna happen. They showed in the intro. It's gonna happen eventually. I don't know if it happens in the manga or not. So far, if the manga's even still going on, but I wouldn't hate if he got like an extreme style upgrade. Get him up to that same level.
So he needs.
I don't know what it would be, honestly. But what do you think if it's not a full form? What do you think about Extreme creating a different weapon than the Prism Picker to solve the situation?
Because you have you know what they don't have enough of, like a fucking flail. You know what I mean? Like they don't
just get some Morning Star.
just give Double like a giant spiked mace.
Oh my goodness. Like just something just very barbarian.
Because the metal branding is okay, but it's not a spear, it's just a bow. You know what I mean? Like I want something with some fucking heft to it. Yeah. Terui, man, I don't know what to do with him. This is the limitation. Like I don't want a new form for Double. Yeah. I do want one for Axel, but I don't know what would work for him. Yeah. And
it's kind of like we have almost like the power, we have the speed, and then we have the flight. It's like, what else do you really do unless you really steer into the power? You know what I mean? Like you get like an off-roader kind of form. And just give him type wild.
Yeah, I mean, combine them. Give him.
Combine them too.
An asymmetrical all-terrain,
like a Perfect Kingdom kind of thing, like
a little more insane,
a little less gaudy. But I mean, it's the same color, so it wouldn't be great.
I would, maybe an all-terrain vehicle.
Maybe just make it silver, and it has the pieces of all of his things. He can have the boosters. He can have some of the trial stuff going on. Maybe the tires, that kind of thing.
For sure.
Yeah, the trial helmet, absolutely.
That is the best.
But Peacemaker also said the manga is still ongoing with monthly releases apparently, so we're gonna get at least one more season. Yeah, so that's cool. I hope eventually this will absolutely lead to more anime adaptations of Kamen Rider, and not necessarily. I mean, I will die on the hill that Kamen Rider is live action anime. I will die on that fucking hill.
That's true.
But I think it's also a more digestible medium for people than equating it to the other Power Rangers kind of thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that still, for some people, carries a stigma, whether it be good, bad, in between, whatever. That is still a relation that we have because it's not as popular outside of Japan.
Which is unfortunate.
And there's a lot of great stories they can make into animes too and highlight these characters.
Especially with the renaissance that anime is having now. I mean, I don't know if you know about this, but there's like Bleach coming back. There's Chainsaw Man, which is like the
Fucking great.
I wouldn't. And to touch on Chainsaw quick, I didn't expect it to look like it does, but it's not bad. And I think I could fuck with a Kamen Rider show done that way.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I don't want it to be like, remember the Alex Steele show or the fucking reboot? You know what I mean? Like, that's the uncanny valley where you gotta be careful with.
Yeah.
Because it's
like a CG anime you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't want the full CG because it just doesn't. I don't think it would work because the Max. I think it's Max Steel. Is that the one I'm talking about where he has like?
But even like the Ultraman show itself.
Yes, because that's one thing that I think is the uncanny valley. Like I like and it's Ultraman. Yeah. So if it was probably Kamen Rider, it might be different for me because just the reason. I don't know where I want to go with that. I don't want to piss anybody off. All I'm saying is like,
no, I get it. There's definitely an acquired taste, I think, to where CG anime is right now. I personally, even from Knights of Sidonia, which is like the first one I can really think of that was like a major Netflix like CG anime. I really enjoyed that from the get-go. I mean, I'm also partial to oh my god, I can't think of his fucking name. I genuinely can't think of the mangaka.
There's a bunch of them. There's God Eater. There's
no, specifically the mangaka. I can't. Tetsumu Nihei. There we go. Jesus Christ. The only
okay. I couldn't help you with that. Sorry.
No. Tetsumu Nihei. Whatever. Nihei. I love the mangaka. I'm embarrassing myself right now because I can't think of the name.
It's what we do here.
Yeah, it's what we fucking do. But you know, I am a little biased towards his works in general. But I genuinely enjoyed Knights of Sidonia. I kind of wish there was a third season because it just stopped. But like Kengan Ashura is all CG too, and that's solid.
There's one example because I specifically Kengan tries to do this dynamic where the realistic uncanny valley is offset by sometimes when they go above and beyond with the motion capture almost. Yeah, and I don't think that shit like that works with 3D. Like especially when in this one where they do the exaggerated expressions, you know what I mean? That kind of shit. Yeah, it doesn't work in full rendered CG, does it? No matter how you try to do it, it just looks fucked, and you can't have that break without it. And in Kamen Rider, in live action, the facial expression, the faces that they're able to do, it's a whole different ballgame. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference for me. That's where the CG can never capture the subtle nuance in performance.
Interesting. I don't know. I would personally prefer a style like this. Like I would prefer it to be more of this style, Fuuto PI style, because this show looks amazing. Honestly, at the end of the day, this show looks fantastic. So I would prefer if they're going to do like the Kuga and Agito manga, like do it like this, that kind of thing. But I could
imagine the murder in that one.
Yeah, it would.
This is brutal.
It would just have to be. I don't know. I would have to take it case by case. You know what I mean? Because there's some studios out there that I think could genuinely do it well. You know, there's the first season of Baki, and then there's, like I said, Kengan Ashura. Like they're two very different things. The first season of Baki is kind of rough. The Netflix Baki the Grappler, by the way. I'm not talking about the old show.
Oh my god, that shit is cool.
So it's one of those things where I would just have to take case by case. I would prefer this style, but I think just anime in general would be a great way to get more people into Kamen Rider. It's hard when it's actually, I wouldn't say it's hard. You can watch Fuuto PI and still get what the fuck's going on. Dude's a Kamen Rider,
absolutely.
And then you go, what's a Kamen Rider? Google, and then there you go. Merry Christmas.
How much time you got, son?
Yeah. Welcome to the iceberg that is your life now. There's always something fucking deeper. Oh my goodness. I think this is a fantastic start to what could be a branching into other mediums. Like we have the 01 comic right now. They're releasing the Kuga and Agito crossover I was just talking about. They're releasing that outside of Japan. I'm loving Kamen Rider being in multiple mediums and getting those outside of anywhere I can actually read them, not in katakana.
Yeah,
so
I mean, legit.
Yeah. More of this, please. Toei, looking at you, John Toei. What's up, bro? Where the fuck's my next anime, huh? Huh?
You listening?
What's up? You
Make
need
it
ideas?
Kuga.
You let me know.
Nah, dude, Kuga. Just do Kuga.
You need to
and
do
do it
Kuga.
well.
Or do the 01 comic when it's done. I don't care.
Do an adult Kuga. Holy fuck. Can you imagine old man Kuga?
Oh, Kuga. Good lord.
Bro. Oh my god. I can see.
He's just tired of everyone's shit. His he goes from this to just no.
No, yeah. So he's up in it. He totally I don't know,
he's not even the man of 1,000 talents. He's the man of 10,000 talents at this point.
He's up in a mountain by himself. Nobody fucking heard of him anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to him to try to solve a problem, and he'll give you the sagest advice. But say maybe Agito is killed by his fucking villain, and then he's okay, I guess I have to come back and fucking do this thing for Agito.
Yo, he just comes out of the mountain with the Arkle driver on. He's just fucking ready to party. Ultimate Rising is his standard form. Oh, I lost your audio. I don't know where it went. I can't hear you. Hello?
Did I fix it?
You muted yourself, I think, by accident when you coughed.
I bumped it. Yeah. I didn't unmute it.
Anyway, last question I have regarding Fuuto PI, because we kind of had this discussion. And chat, I'm going to need your input for this one, too. All of the Dopants have what they call the living connector somewhere on their body. I'm going to pull up the living connector. And what this is it is the place where they plug their USB drive of a anime power bullshit into their body.
I forgot they needed a gizmo to actually insert it.
So I'm going to show the picture. Yeah. So this picture here shows you the USB being plugged into. Someone got an actual tattoo, which I plan on getting at some point. But this is the living connector. This appears somewhere on their body. And they even have a point where, which we didn't even touch on, Tokame has had a memory with her the whole time. And they finally finish repairing it. Philip finishes repairing it, and you find out it's the Joker Gaia memory. It's not the same one that he has, but it's the monster version of Joker. And I'm assuming it has something to do with Foundation X, because they made their duplicate, memories of everything. They play it. It says Joker, and supposedly if she had used it before, the living connector would have showed up somewhere on her body. They have a funny little joke where Akiko kicks all the men out.
Yep. They strip her because fan service.
They strip her because fan service. And they don't actually show it, but Akiko kicks all the stuff out. She goes to pull down her top, and she shows a little cleavage kind of thing. And Akiko kicks everyone out. And then she says, "Good news, there is no living connector on anything." And so we're good there. But at the same time, my immediate thought was all the fucking 4 gods used a belt, so it really doesn't matter. But I guess the reactor guy did have the living connector. So
if he's on that caliber, she might be, because
I think she has an actual belt. Yes, she lost her memories. I think she had an actual belt, so she's not going to have a living connector. I don't think Bondo has a living connector. He just puts the belt on. And Peacemaker made a good point in the original show that the Dopant memories were essentially a drug dealing organization analog. So they actually had a gun that they would just inject people with the memory, and it would go somewhere. So if you had a living connector, where would you put it? Or not even just the tattoo, where would you put it in general?
I think we were...
Don't say under your balls.
That's weird. Because, how am I going to get my... Well, I could get my pants off in this. Never mind. I always said that I wanted to put it, on my wrist. Because I thought, behind the ear. But I can't. I mean, what are you going to do? Stop right there and... just give me a second.
No, but you're going to strike a pose to do it first instead. That's fine.
I'm just going to fucking... You know what I mean? Just quick. Because I could run while doing this. Because obviously I'm being chased. Because there's no way I'm ever transforming under good conditions.
Nope.
There's never going to... Just with my luck, it's always going to be hellfire and chaos falling around me. That's when I have to hench. I never get
the actual world melting around you.
Hey, everybody else got to pose. Rob gets his fucking building dropped on his head.
Literally dying under rubble. And you're I gotta do it.
And shit. But I would do it right where my watch is, because I would just put it right there. A second option, if I had to, would be right behind my ear.
Okay, right on your neck behind the ear.
Yeah, right there. Just way, just tucked away.
Chat, you better be thinking about it because I'm going to ask you guys next. But personally, and I think I surprised you with this very much so when I told you about it. I thought it was the most metal shit ever. One of them has it on their tongue.
It's intense. It's intense.
Just fucking and plug that shit in there. I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever. And if it wouldn't be just the worst idea in the world to get a tongue tattoo, I absolutely would.
It would take like a decalinium just to heal, and then you would constantly be henching. So what if it never fucking heals? It's just a constant.
Yeah, like I don't know. Something about that is so metal to be like, and just fucking plug it in there. I think that is so cool. Like, imagine doing a fucking haka and everything. Like,
Let me tell you about the fucking haka.
Listen,
Oh,
but I think that's so sick, and I think that's such a cool idea. Other than that, I would just fucking like plug it in.
Trigger was the one with the forehead, right? Trigger.
One of them put it right in their forehead. Yeah.
The other one, I think the buff dude had it go into his back. The
Reactor. Are you talking about Reactor? He put it like right in his chest.
No, I'm actually thinking about the live action one. The fucking wrestler dude.
Oh, from the movie. That guy.
Yeah.
He was metal, I think.
Was he?
Yes. Something like that.
Luna. It was Luna.
No, we didn't see Luna. Luna was the only one we didn't see in that movie.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's when we get Lunar Joker and we see the slap for the first time. The wiggly hand. He gets over there.
Yeah, that thing. But he had it in his back. Trigger had it in the. I swear, I think it's the forehead. But
one of them definitely had it in their forehead because I do remember them like, and it like goes into their head.
Yeah, the weird one. Mm-hmm. And then Fire had it like right in her inner thigh or some shit like that.
Yeah,
outer thigh.
Of course. Yeah.
Because fan service.
She had to like lift the slit up a little bit and put it in there.
Yeah, that's nice though. It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah. Joker was the only one not seen in the movie. Oh, I'm sorry. Luna was the forehead. You're right. Joker was the one I'm thinking of that wasn't in the movie.
Got it. Yeah. Well, this is why. So
thank you, Peacemaker. That's why you're here. That's why we keep you around.
We love you, bro. We love you. But I guess that implies further than we've never seen the Joker monster, Dopant.
No, which would make sense why it's Tokudon.
Dope.
So we'll see. Like I said, Foundation X made those duplicate guy memories too. So there's your tie-in. Chat, I want to know where you guys want your living connectors, by the way. So
no,
better be thinking about it.
Peacemaker's gonna put it like right in between the webbing of his finger. Like,
seems so inconvenient. I hate that. I hate all of that. Do you have I don't know the Dopant, so I don't have an answer to this. I'm just throwing it out there. Do you have a Dopant memory that you would want to use?
Weather.
Yeah, it's true. That was a dumb question.
Weather without.
What about? Let me do it this way. What about from the ones from Fuuto PI?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, barring Reactor, because that trade-off is a bad trade-off.
Yeah, that's no good, Nix.
That is a bad trade-off. But I think I would take, of all of them, the murder one. I even though it's the buggy one,
mm-hmm.
It does seem to be the most effective. Like, he fucks him up a good amount.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're all not the greatest.
There's definitely major trade-offs to all of them.
Rhodes would be the most, but I don't know about eating people, dude. Like,
listen, I'll do what we got to do for the W. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. People are nasty.
I don't know. I kind of like Rhode a lot. The design, if not Rhode, Brachiosaurus. I would have to just stomp around as fucking Brachiosaurus.
That's fair.
I feel contractually obligated to pick the dinosaur at this point in my life. So, yeah, it's kind of what it's meant to be. No, I think, yeah, definitely Rhode or Brachiosaurus. Scream is really cool too. I like the idea of Scream a lot. I wouldn't hate that.
Scream looks more kaiju-ish than any of them in terms of like it looks like it would translate well to a full-bodied suit. Yeah, like
it has that like reverse like Exorcist walk thing going on. I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it.
That backwards walk.
Yeah, I don't. Not a fan of that. But yeah, no. Honestly, I don't think there's like. I really wouldn't want the Murder Dopant one though. The Meganura. I really wouldn't want that one.
I like the flight.
Or the Toadstool. I definitely don't want the fucking mushroom. I can tell you that for free.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
No, fuck that.
The alcohol one, absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely not.
no, that one seems real dangerous. I'm
See what
not.
saying?
I'm
All
not
these-
that
all
much
these
of an alcoholic.
trade-offs. Was this much of a thing in the show? Were the trade-offs
don't
really a factor?
Remember
I don't
it being
remember.
as big of a thing. I feel like this is more of a high dopant thing.
True.
Yeah,
Could be.
because the high dopant's the whole point is that it's kind of like bleeding into their human form almost, right? So
Yeah,
I
'cause
feel like
it's-
this wasn't really a thing in the original show. It's been a minute. I could be wrong, but I feel like it wasn't as much of a thing. So
Might have to do another watch party.
I thought about it, honestly. I was like, do I want to just start the show? Why not? I haven't really watched a solid Kamen Rider in a while. It was either that or Saber. So
Oh,
I
could
missed
do
the
it.
Saber Boys. Okay? God damn it. I missed the Saber Boys.
Hey. In
Don't
another 5 years-
me.
No, I said, hey,
Oh.
in another 5 years, you'll get like another fucking anniversary movie where they'll all come back. It'll be fun.
You know,
It'll be fun.
yeah, we'll get to the 55th and we'll watch 4 more anniversary movies and 3 of them will be fucking terrible.
It's
So
gonna be great.
it'll be great. It'll be great, guys. I can't wait to talk about them on the show.
The bad guys will be die shocker. It'll
Die,
it's
die,
gonna
die,
be
die,
awesome.
die. Dark shocker.
Die shocker.
Die, die, dark. Oh, good. Super die, dark cho shocker.
Telling you, old man Kuga. I'm gonna write that shit.
Please do. That'd be fucking cool.
Thing
Only
that-
one Peacemakers can remember Nazca and Quetzalcoatl having drawbacks, and those were both like evolved ones. So I really think it's like a high dopant thing. So especially Nazca got like the level 3 thing going on.
Nazca was just that he died, or it just sapped
No,
his
I
power?
remember it doing something to the girl too when she took it over. I don't remember what it was, but
Oh, when she used it, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So that is Fuuto PI and the wonderful, beautiful, delicious anime that it is. It is only 12 episodes long, so if you guys would like to go watch it, please do. It's on Crunchyroll right now. You can probably find it by other means as well, but it's on Crunchyroll to support the actual release. I would kind of be surprised if we didn't get a second season. I think we're gonna get at least one more.
They're milking this until it's gone. Like this is
I
awesome.
feel like it's also doing really well. So
I hope so.
I hope
really
so
hope
too.
so.
I hope so too. And yeah, you want to do the news or you want to do the hero spotlight first?
Well, because of the recent kick and I think the continued kick that I'm going to be on with people who create their own suits, I keep downloading, keep finding, keep trying to see if there's a way that someone who has no money and no means like me could design my own suit.
Yeah.
And one of the inspiring people is somebody that I found. This is our hero spotlight. My hero spotlight choice this week is a YouTube channel called Kura Maker. I'm gonna drop the link here in the Discord. I think I dropped it earlier, but just to double up. This guy, what I've seen is he's an Indonesian-based guy. He speaks English, which is the difference from a bunch of the other ones that I try to understand. But he goes through the process and explains how he finds his materials, how he fine tunes his technique. It's I'm not gonna say it's Aniki caliber, but it is better than anything you could do in your
It's
backyard.
better than Aniki because he's not stealing money from thousands of people.
It's touche. So, but my man, it's a good lengthy video. He does like intricate wire work in there. You know what I mean? It's not just your
Like
basic,
LEDs, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he has LED built into there. He shows you, the best placements for where to put the stuff so that it's comfortable. I appreciate the level that he went because he didn't have to go above like before and after. You know what I'm saying? So when people go the extra level to demonstrate how they got their costume, how they made it work, what tweaks they make to it, that's the stuff that I look for. And this guy, he has a bunch of suits. I found the Mighty Form Kuga Ultimate.
Nice.
He has another one where it's an Ultraman. I'm not going to spoil it, but he has a Garo. He has a bunch of them on there.
Yeah,
like,
we're
not a full Garo.
I have the Decade suit on screen right now for our folks watching the video.
Yeah, so he's very talented, and I want people to appreciate this kind of stuff because it's something that I'm always looking for, and I don't get this kind of show. People who go this extra step very often. So yeah, more of this stuff, much more of this.
Awesome. That is Kuramaker on YouTube. I'm having trouble finding a Twitter page, but
I couldn't find anything like
okay.
that.
But Kuramaker on YouTube, please go check them out. Kuramaker, you are a hero spotlight for the week. Appreciate everything that you do. A lot of really cool cosplays, not just Kamen Rider either. I see an Evangelion one. I see all kinds of things in here. There's a Halo suit. A lot of Gaim armors for all you crazy people that enjoy Gaim.
Crazy people
that think Kachidoki is the best form ever. You're out of your mind.
Which it is. I will hear no sacrilege. And I found his Facebook, so there you go, guys. Definitely
there you go.
Check him out. Look at all this stuff. It's fucking cool. It's cool shit.
So that is Kuramaker on the YouTubes. Please go support them. Like I said, we'd like to support the Hero Spotlight. It's all about shouting out people that kind of just going above and beyond for the fandom. So appreciate you, Kuramaker. Keep your stuff going. Amazing tutorials. Even the little bit we just watched of the Decade one, that was amazing. So keep it up. Appreciate you. And fantastic.
It's this kind of community, man. I don't know. Every week we do this. Every time I'm finding like 5. I have to pick because I'm like, I'll talk about him. No, I'll talk about them. Oh, this group is dope. No, you know what? One. I need one.
You know what that sounds like? Plenty of content for us. I'm just kidding. But no, it's fantastic, and it's cool to see. That was kind of part of it too, like, because I would say that we are not the most versed in the fandom. You and I and a cool part of this is discovering people that we would not have found otherwise. So if you guys have any suggestions or want to shout anyone out for a hero spotlight, please hit me up on Twitter. It's at Kaiju Carl. You can find Rob at 6 Echoes, or you can go to the at Tokudon Cast Twitter page as well. Just hit us up, send us a message, send us some links. If you want to volunteer yourself, that's totally cool too. Don't feel weird about that. We want to shout you guys out. So please let us know. And we're it's all about community and growing together. So let us know. We'll shout you out. Take a look at your stuff. And it's not just cosplayers. It's not just,
Yeah, no, that's just what I've been hooked on lately. But I'll pick another thing. We get hyper-focused like that. It just happens.
Yeah, like I said, we checked out Toku J last week. Voca Panda was one of our first ones. She does covers of, Toku theme songs. Toku J does amazing Power Rangers artwork.
God, yeah. Oh
and
my God.
K20 says they have someone. Just hit me up, dude. Let me know.
Yeah, listen. Our boy K20 does a bunch of beautiful.
Our boy K20 does a bunch of podcasts. Jesus Christ, patches that you can go and get if you hit exclamation mark K20 custom in the chat right now. You can get that link and get 10% off as an official sponsor for Tokudon. So
once I get everything patched on, I'm gonna just don the whole fucking suit.
You're gonna look like the Gokai Silver suit of just Kamen Riders.
Oh my God, K, let's do that, bro.
You should absolutely just get a jacket and just do it in that pattern.
Okay, we got this, bro. It's genius.
That's what's up.
I would wear that. Hell yeah.
That's what's up. Let's get on to some news. And then K20 also redeemed Design a Sentai. So
you know what? Fine.
Not even mad about it. You get prepped for that. I'll go through some news things. In terms of Geet's news, we did get a look at his new upgrade this week. And yeah, it's something.
Is it boost?
From what it seems, again, spoilers, I don't know, I should mention that first. We got an idea to first upgrade. It looks like it's a golden, he can rattle through all of the buckles, but it does a double version of the buckle, so it's like a null buckle almost. So he can do boost, he can do magnum, he can do zombie, and this thing can kind of, I don't know if it's a roulette or if he can pick which one he wants. So that's
a roulette would be dope.
A roulette would be kind of cool if he just flicks it and picks something for him. But yeah, and also apparently from the episodes we saw that Ninja kind of has it like a mind of its own, almost like Boost, like it'll just peace out when it wants to.
Also, it's a power up.
It's almost sentient. I don't know if it's a one-time. It's not a one-time use because they keep it episode to episode. So I haven't seen the episode. I know someone we didn't expect goes away, so that's cool.
Those spoilies, guys.
But I haven't actually watched the episode, so we'll talk about that when I do.
Okay.
Other than that, they did announce the 1.5 Lost Driver and also Eternal Edge CSM Eternal Edge, which I have every expectation you will be buying, my friend. If not, you are a fraud.
I have to. As soon as you sent that to me, I'm like, I'm gonna go broke, but I'm okay with it.
Worth it. Worth every second of it. So if anyone doesn't know, the Lost Driver is literally a double driver, which is, you put two memories in, open it up, makes the double symbol. Lost Driver is just one side of that, so they can use it to transform with only one memory. So Shotor actually uses it to turn into Kamen Rider Joker, which is a full version of his half. And then you also get one of Rob's favorite riders of all time, Kamen Rider Eternal.
Listen, Eternal has this vibe that I can't shake, bro. It's Daisuke, so it's also like you get his vibe as normal is just like angry and confused and like he's, you know what I mean, like he's not a hero, but he's doing it so that the fucking problem's solved. Yep. It's so cool. It's so
angry cool. And confused is a perfect way to describe his character.
Yes, yeah, and me, but yeah.
So I have it up on the screen. If you guys are watching the video, you can see the Lost Driver is just the one side. It comes with Joker, Skull, and Eternal, and then you can also get the fucking memory switchblade, the fucking Bowie knife that it is, the Eternal knife.
It is the best part of it, bro. You gotta admit that knife and the fact that he just bodies everybody with a fucking Bowie. You know what I mean? And the zone drive. Oh my god. Ugh. All right.
The Hadouken, the fucking spirit bomb Hadouken that he does.
He can shut down anybody's fucking memory, bro. He's like, you got that? Cool. No more. Zone.
You're done here. We're done here. Yep.
How did they beat him? Oh, I know how.
They got main character power. That's how.
That's what I'm saying.
So they beat everyone so far. Not really. Weather was beaten with hard work and fucking risking his life. Because Terumi is perfect and I love him.
About 10 million and 4 kicks, maybe 4.5.
4.27 exactly. So.
All right, let's design this rider.
Yeah,
or is it a rider
Sentai
or is it
team.
Sentai
team.
Sentai team.
Yeah, we are designing a Sentai team before we get out of here. We need themes, people. Chat, help us out here. We need a theme for this Sentai.
Sentai team.
Just throw words out there. It's always more fun if it's completely fucking random.
All right, hold on. Random word generator. There you go. Okay. All right, so first word is...
You know what would be fun? How about this? Okay, 20 says content creator. Oh boy. Or we can start with that, or we can try and design our version of Oma Sentai King Oger.
Oh, a prediction.
Yeah, we'll do like a prediction, and it's going to be completely wrong, and that might be absolutely hilarious. Because
no, that's fine.
I just imagine in my head, I imagine a army of fucking Burger King mascots. So,
are you serious?
That's
it. Then.
Absolutely what I imagine.
So it's basically, if it's a bunch of fucking Burger King dudes, we have to think of royalty chain links. Okay, royalty food chains. What's another one?
Ooh, actually, how about this to tie in the content creator thing? We think about different social media sites, and that's each of our fucking Sentai members.
Okay,
so you got Twitch, you got YouTube, you got TikTok.
Okay, so Burger King is the top dog in what? Nothing?
No, to drop the Burger King, they can look like the Burger King, like the actual Burger King, but so it's going to be like Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, fucking Twitter.
All right. So the main guy is top dog. So the Red Ranger.
Well, we're streaming on Twitch, so let's make it Twitch.
All right, so the Twitch Ranger is the Red Ranger. Got it. All right, so we're gonna go.
We could actually do like a Time Ranger kind of thing and have like Twitch and YouTube be the two Red Rangers, like Quantum Fire or the Quantum Ranger.
That's our show. You know what? Our show, Oger, is two kings. There's two guys.
Yep.
So we got duo riders. Since we're gonna go thematic with it, since we're on this kick of duo riders. All right, so we got one.
Yep.
Rider who's a royal king. All right.
I want the fucking spandex and everything.
Okay. All right. I will design spandex for you. All right. But it has to be. All right. What does the Twitch symbol look like? Hold on. I got this.
The Twitch symbol is literally like a quotation mark kind of thing.
Oh, it looks like. Oh, that's perfect, bro.
That's like a chat bubble.
His fucking helmet. That's perfect.
Are those his eyes? The little like quotes.
That's just his face, bro. His face is the eyes. That's good. Perfect. All right. And then we have the giant shoulder part. I'm going to give him the dragon armor, but we got to put something on the plate.
Mhm.
All right. So what do we put on the plate?
Put the heart, because that's the follow.
The heart.
Yeah, you just gotta put a heart, the follow heart.
Heart. That's perfect. Okay. All right. He's got the follow heart with a Burger King crown. All right. All right. The suit here, Dragon Crest. What else do they have here? They have. Oh, you know what? He's gonna have the create heart thing. There you go. Perfect. All right. What about the other guy?
Okay, so the other one is YouTube, and you should just have like a big red button that says subscribe on it instead of a heart on their chest piece.
He should just be a giant subscribe button.
Yeah, he's just a subscribe button. That's all it is.
What did I do? Oh God, I'm sorry, you guys. I made a mess here.
Well, it can't be more of a mess than me in a fucking nurse's outfit. So
that's debatable, man. Because
it's true. I mean,
this became something else.
Right, I'm still waiting on that fan art, by the way, folks.
We need a whole thing though. Like it has to be like you with a villain and the whole shebang.
Do you know? Do you remember the spread from the Fuuto PI opening of Terumi with all of his forms? I want that, but as Nurse Carl.
That doesn't. Yep. All right.
Like
but
just all of them in a spread across the screen.
What about the dry? What is the changer? Is it a wrist changer? Is
for our content creators?
Yeah, I mean,
it should be like a smartphone.
Yeah, that's perfect. It is the iPhone 27.
Yeah, the Tokudon had one, but there's work. They work.
Here, this one has like.
My man Rokugo had a fucking iPhone, and then he rolled his train across the track, and then he hinged. I love Tokudon, guys. It's so good.
You know what the best part of doing this shit is? I'm so good at not drawing hands that I have managed to hide hands so well.
You know what the best part about that is? That's how every fucking artist in the world does things when they're not comfortable with hands. You find creative ways to fucking hide them. And everyone knows that game who's like any kind of artist. Everyone can fucking point that shit out from 20 miles away.
Here we go.
I still do that shit. I don't care. I don't even draw anymore. I still do that shit.
I found something to do with the back of the helmet. We are putting right behind them, because all of us have it. The fucking ring light is
the ring light.
Right,
oh boy,
behind the helmet.
Yep,
right behind the helmet. Okay.
Right the fuck there.
He's got that helmet. Now I need something for the legs. We need to do something with his legs. Oh
god.
No. Streamers are always in chairs.
Yeah, give him just like fucking chair leg rollerblades. That's all you have to do.
He's in a giant Professor X kind of like floaty chair. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And it looks like a regular rocker. It looks like
speaking of Professor X, while you're doing that, I'll pad the time a little bit here. We discovered a new fighting game in the last few months from Ken, actually, Smoking Apes, who has been hanging out in the stream. He enlightened me to a fighting game called X-Men Mutant Academy 2, and is a PS1 fighting game where Professor X is fucking unlockable in his cart.
What?
Yes, he has mind blast combos. And one of his supers is running into your shins really fucking hard. I am dead 10,000% serious. I was like, I feel awful laughing, and this is amazing at the same time.
So he just destroys your shins.
He literally rolls across the screen and hits you like 9 times right in your shins. Stay tuned for Xavier Tech. Nightcrawler is in the game. I think he has his swords too. I feel like that's a good judge of whether they get Nightcrawler or not, of whether he has the dual sabers.
Does he always have the same weapons?
Well, there's like I feel like X-Men Evolution, he never really had anything like any of the older cartoons. He always like just didn't have that. He just kind of like teleported around. But like I'm at least in the comics, maybe more recently, he's always had like twin swords, like sabers, like actual like fencing military sabers.
Gotcha.
Don't play him.
Right.
I don't want to. Not a Nightcrawler guy. Ken is though. He loves Nightcrawler.
Other than the bouncing thing, what does he really do?
What do you mean?
Like, other than the teleporting, is that his only power?
That's
like,
his mutant ability, yeah.
I thought he had like the ability to go into like the Mephisto realm and shit like that.
He might. He's half demon or some shit. He could probably just teleport into it if he really wants to. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that shit works.
All right. I got the Twitch streamer done.
Okay.
Now we need the YouTube Sentai.
Okay.
All right. YouTube Sentai.
Dang, I'm ready.
Dude. All right, hold on.
My body is fucking ready.
Should this one be like the bougie one? Like, I don't know. Us YouTubers are weird, aren't we? Like, we're the weird ones.
All the content creators are fucking masochists in my opinion, but you know,
that's
what we
point.
do.
We are a bunch of fucking wackadoos. So, I mean...
Oh, he has to have been there before to teleport there, apparently, K20 is saying.
Okay, all right.
So, interesting. That's right, because he has to, like, envision it.
Why don't we... Here, I'm gonna make this one.
I just want to see this fucking Twitch dude.
Oh no, I'll show you the Twitch rider as soon as I'm done making the YouTube rider.
Okay.
The Sentai guy. Sentai. Oh,
yeah.
that's not how you do a triangle.
Oh no.
Sorry. I got ahead of myself. I embarrassed that one. All right. I always wondered.
Teleporting is breaking, K20. I hate to break it to you. Any X-Men is literally breaking. Or just broken in general. Broking. Ooh.
You know what? This
breaking the rules of reality.
The YouTube dude isn't working.
The YouTube one isn't working? Oh no.
The YouTube isn't working. I can't do that straight. All right, so for now, there you go.
Hey, hang on, let me switch screens here. He looks like he has a keytar as a weapon. Yo.
It's perfect, right? Dude,
beautiful.
Like,
absolutely perfect.
I mean, I wanted to implement, the essence of Twitch. I think I really got that. I mean, the self-importance, the halo light behind him. Mm-hmm. It's a good look. It's a good look.
I'm imagining the halo light is kind of just attached to his like belt. I
think
it's just kind of like hanging out there.
It's coming out the back of the helmet, so I was figuring it's going to be like constantly behind him.
Bet. Okay, cool, sick. I love it.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Right, now we need to name the Sentai.
Content Sentai.
No, what's a good word for content? What's another word for obnoxious
stuff? Sentai.
Obnoxious synonyms.
Obnoxious synonyms. Things Sentai. Creator man.
Unpalatable Sentai.
Unpalatable Sentai Creator man.
Unpalatable Sentai. Got it.
We nailed it, folks.
Sentai.
Goodness gracious. Wowza.
Creator man.
Unpalatable Sentai Creator man.
Creator.
Unpalatable Sentai Creator. Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Thanks, fucking ridiculous.
You're
always fun.
Awesome.
Always fun way to end the episode. If you guys would like to follow me, you can do so at Kaiju Carl on Twitter, or if you're watching a future version of this, you can check me out, twitch.tv/Kaiju Carl, or you can also participate live. We have some fun around here if you guys didn't notice.
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Especially when I ban people from the chat, you know, that's a whole thing. But I love it. I don't give a shit if I ban your ass in a heartbeat. Anyway, you can follow me at twitch.tv/KaijuCarl. We usually play some games during the week. I don't know if you knew this, but we've been playing through Onimusha too.
Ooh, a good one.
Yeah.
I am Gogun Dantes.
Jubei.
Even of all these.
Jubei.
That voice acting will go down history.
So I think we have 4 of the 5 jewels, because I know you know what that means. But so we'll probably ending that in the next couple weeks. But you can check that out. We're also playing some Spooks over there. We're going to finish some Visage, or at least try to finish at least the section I'm on. This game is way longer than I thought it was going to be.
Good luck.
It's fucking crazy. So you can check that out, twitch.tv/KaijuCarl, or Kaiju Carl on YouTube, and Tokudon on YouTube as well. You can check out all the old episodes.
And if you're interested in anything I've got going on, I'm the spooky guy. You can send me all of your spooky stories at 6echoes.se@gmail. You can always check out my YouTube channel. Other than that, I'm here doing this nonsense, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. You actually put some YouTube videos up, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Check out 6 Echoes on the YouTube channel. Just a bunch of scary stories, quick ones, anything to help you sleep. You know, I like to make people comfortable.
Yep. Yeah, I totally, absolutely did not have nightmares after last Visage session. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Absolutely fucking did. It was terrible. I hate it.
That's the stuff that I propagate.
But
that's all I'm for.
I love all of you so much for doing the channel points. So we're going to keep it rocking, and I'm going to not sleep. So
until then.
Later, friends.
Bye.